What's up everyone? Kyle Russ here with Hydromind. In this video, I'm going to show you the one and only piece of equipment you need at home to stay in shape for surfing. It literally does it all. So I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to show you the top 5 things it does to improve the things that you need to surf great. Let's get started. So this is it. This is all you need to stay in shape for surfing from home, and it does so much. Now, the number one thing that I always talk about is paddle strength. I'm not going to cover that here because I've made a ton of videos about building paddle strength. These are what they were designed for. We had paddle strength in mind. So we made them to simulate the resistance of the water plus a few extra pounds so you can get those paddle workouts, but it's more condensed. It's still an endurance workout, but it's much more time efficient and does the paddle stroke correctly. But in designing them this way, they also came with a whole bunch of more benefits. So they really do it all when you know how to use them. Now, the very first thing I'll touch on here is core strength. So building core strength is so important because it's the core, everything's attached to it, right? A great metaphor is, let's say you have a giant, like a pirate ship, like a big boat with a cannon on it, right? You blast that cannon off the ship. It has to be a big ship to hold it, right? But let's imagine you take a giant cannon, you put it on a tiny little canoe, blast that cannon, the whole boat, the little canoe is gonna shatter to pieces and it's gonna sink, right? That's the same thing with your core. So if you're doing like explosive movements, paddling, popping up, and you don't have a strong core, boom, it's gonna blow your back up. So having a strong core keeps you healthy, but it also makes everything else, all the other movements of your body, so much stronger because it's your power base. So building it, there's a couple important things to do right. One thing is proper core function. It's a little more in depth, so I'll cover it in a later video, but it's something that we do for all our members. We do core function testing, making sure you're protecting your spine with the right muscles, activating it properly. I have met almost no one who does this properly. So you do the test on the floor, and then so you know that you're doing it right, you bring that proper core function into exercise. So it's important for a few things. You do it on an exhale, so that's linking your breath with the movement. So on an inhale, your body's getting bigger, and then so say you're doing a pushing movement, exhale, you flex your core. So you're doing that over and over, you're flexing your core in the proper way that protects your spine, so you're making those muscles stronger, so you can do more explosive movements and your back will be healthier. But probably the most important part of doing these style of workouts with proper core function is core function becomes a subconscious reflex. So when you are doing these high rep style workouts and you're doing like a few thousand reps a week, that's thousands and thousands of reps over like a month, right? So that'll make it a subconscious reflex to protect your spine effectively. Not just in exercise, but in real life too. So when you're opening up a door, you're picking up a squirming kid, moving a box, putting away the dishes, anything, you'll constantly, subconsciously, without even thinking about it, protect your spine so you won't have those injuries, your back will stay stronger. Super important. And when it comes to core function, an important thing is, so when people think about building the core, it's like the crunch, right? So if you're like, this is like just this motion, but that is only like a small fraction of the range of motion, right? So you want to incorporate a stretch in it too, so you stretch the front. So when you just do the core crunch, it shortens the muscle, right? And that puts pressure on your back, so it's like forcing you more hunched over like this, right? So it's important to open it up, do a full range of motion, as full as you can, and then do the crunch. So that's what these are good for. So you grab these, you can step forward, see my chest is open, my back is open, and then it's into the crunch. Full range of motion, and then with proper core function. Stretching the front, strengthening the core muscles that protect the spine, and doing it in a high endurance way like you'd be doing in real life. Now, the second thing these build are balance. So balance I define as this: being strong in a compromised position. So the way that we do it, I call it ground up strength. So starting with your feet and moving from the way, moving up from there. So a really, really great way to do this is to do unilateral exercises. So you use one side. So for example, you're just like doing a squat and a pull, but you're just using one side, right? So it's causing all your muscles to compensate, being pulled from one side, trying to stay strong. The last thing, which is so important, which really defines the ground up strength, is if you look down at my feet, we're doing the workouts on our tippy toes. So I would normally stand farther away than this, but it looks like this. So squat, always on our toes, right? And one of the best ones is doing it one-footed. So like this. So doing like a 1-foot workout builds so much balance. And one thing about balance training is like when you have something like this, that's a changing resistance. So it's easier right here, it's harder right here, and you're doing it with one hand, so you're pulling and twisting, is it's gonna cause you to go off balance. So when you're doing a workout and you find yourself off balance and you have to compensate, that's actually good. Doing that compensating really makes the workout harder, so you're building those compensation muscles stronger, which will keep you balanced. Now balance in surfing is so important, and when you start with the feet, it'll give you that feeling of being attached to your board, so you're not falling off, slipping off, and all those kind of things. So it's so important to build balance, and these do it great. And number 4, huge one, functional mobility combined with muscular endurance. So because these are designed for more of a higher reps kind of workout, they build muscular endurance. So muscular endurance is 25 reps plus. So more is better, but 25 as a minimum. So if you're in like the range of like 10 to 12, that's more like the bodybuilding style. So that puts on mass. So getting to the right rep range allows you to not put on mass, but to lean down and give yourself a really high strength to weight ratio. So your body weight's not going up too much, but your strength is. So that will allow you to be lighter, you can be more nimble, but also have that endurance and explosion and stuff. And then the functional mobility. So these really lend themselves to functional mobility. So the opposite of functional mobility would be like muscle isolation, like just a bicep curl, or like anything where you're locked into a bench where you're laying down and like something of you is anchored. This is anchored, but you're not. So you're all your balance, you're always flexing your core. You always are having to like use your whole body to stay in the right position, even when you're doing the paddle workout. So this really lends itself to functional mobility and muscular endurance with the proper rep range. Now this one, proper posture correction. So posture correction is a huge part of what we do because it's one of the biggest barriers for proper paddling, proper breathing, proper surfing, and proper body function. So bad posture is always this. It's everyone. So it's forward shoulder, forward head, and then tilt to the pelvis like this. Everyone has it, sitting, looking on your phone, driving. It's just like this modern lifestyle. So what we want to do is open it up, the whole thing, right? So it is stretching the front, so you're looser in the front, but also strengthening the back as well too. So stretching the front, I covered a bit, so I showed you one, but strengthening the back is super important. So strengthening the back is tricky from home, especially with body weight. Now the biggest one for doing back body weight is pull-ups, right? But that is more of like, it's hard to get high reps with that. So like 25 plus, if you can do 25 plus pull-ups, you are insanely strong. So most people can't. So most people are in that like 5 to 10 or whatever, right? So it's more of a bodybuilding rep range. So it's gonna be put on too much mass. So, and pull-ups are like pulling down, right? So you wanna be more like this to correct the posture, right? So these actually, for having them at home, do wonders for correcting posture because like, remember it's the forward shoulder. So you wanna go back and actually down. So I'll show you one little quick thing. So a static hold is really good. So you just pull it back and then down. So watch my shoulders. Back and then down. And then you hold that as long as you can. That static hold is gonna stretch the front. It's gonna strengthen the back. And that's just one thing you can do. There's a whole bunch of others. But like I said, you're fighting against modern lifestyle. So it's things that you're doing every day that are causing this. So doing this every day to fight against it are gonna do wonders. And so for paddling, posture is so important because when you're paddling, you're on your board, you gotta have your head and chest up. You can always tell when someone is either new or they're tired, they start coming down like this because they don't have the strength to hold themselves up, or they're so tight here, they're just fighting the resistance of their muscles. So important. So it helps you paddle, helps you breathe, take in more oxygen, and just helps your back be more healthy. You gotta have great posture, and that's how we do it. And the final unknown benefit of having these at home is building proper breathing function. So most people are learning this for the first time when they come into our style of training, is how to properly breathe. There's some people who have institutes where they correct breathing patterns, and they say that upwards of like 90% of the population have improper breathing mechanics. So relearning these takes lots of conscious effort. According to some studies, if you have an ineffective breathing pattern, like you've been doing it for your whole life and it's normal to you, to recorrect it takes 3,500 to 5,000 conscious repetitions. So What the things we're trying to recorrect are proper nasal breathing. So doing your exercise by breathing into your nose. If you haven't done this, it'll feel like you're really hungry for oxygen right away. And it's important to, if you feel like you're going to start mouth breathing, just stop the workout, wait till you recover with your nose, continue the workout. And then the second thing is belly breathing. So lots of people, if I were to say to you, take the biggest, deepest inhale that you can, lots of people like they'll get taller and their chest will get bigger, but it's supposed to be at the bottom 2/3 of your inhale, belly, and then chest in the top third. When you have chest breathing, you typically only fill your lungs half of the way or less, and so you're not getting the full amount of oxygen. And then when you have tightness in the neck and chest, like this, it's attached to your nervous system. So like a pain face, all that tightness triggers the immune system, like fight or flight, so it releases adrenaline, so it elevates your heart rate, which burns oxygen faster. So it has huge negative consequences with chest breathing, inverted breathing. So to do proper belly breathing, just so you know, I never did nasal breathing and I never did belly breathing. I had to recorrect these myself as well too when I first learned this years ago. And so like I said, it takes 3,500 to 5,000 conscious repetitions. So the cool thing about these style of workouts is we're doing high rep stuff. So within a week, you're gonna have probably a couple thousand of reps of proper nasal breathing, proper belly breathing, conscious repetition. So within a couple of weeks, you can have reset your breathing pattern and made it a subconscious reflex so that you're doing it properly in exercise, in real life, and in surfing. So you can see that this just isn't about paddle strength, it's everything you need to do. And that these are like the core part of how we help people stay in shape for surfing, because it really does it all. And there's one thing that I can't overstate about these is the convenience factor. Convenience, I say, is king, because if you have to go from your home to the gym or a swimming pool to do your workout, so you gotta get ready, you gotta drive, you gotta get changed, do your workout, and you gotta head back, right? So it's like this amount of time for this amount of workout. So if you have that amount of friction and time invested to do this kind of workout, your chances of doing it go down. When you have this at home and you can literally do it all in 20 minutes, so no commute, no gyms, no swimming pools, that convenience factor allows you to get so much more done in a shorter amount of time, but also increases your chances of getting that workout done because it's a less time commitment and there's less friction to do it. You can literally do it in front of your TV, which I do all the time. I throw on a podcast, I throw on a show or something on YouTube. I'll do the workout in the privacy of my own home. Bing, bing, we're done. Never miss a workout. And it just becomes part of who you are and what you do every single day. So these things are the most valuable tool you can have as a surfer if you want to stay in shape between sessions. And I want to send these to you. So this is part of our program. Everyone who joins our program, any one of our programs, gets these free, come with a lifetime warranty. Like I say, we manufacture them specifically to improve paddle strength and muscular endurance and all the breathing stuff we talked about. Everything that I just mentioned is done easily from home. So if that's what you want, I want you in our program. So what I did is, if you look below this video, I made another link to a video, a training. I'll show you step by step exactly how we use these to take surfers, ordinary surfers who are struggling, take them to the top surfing fitness in the shortest amount of time possible. Show you step by step exactly how we do it, how we can do it for you too. And if you're interested in joining our program, it'll let you know how you can do that too. My name's Kyle Russ with HydroMind. Thanks a lot for watching.